Hello students, so in this video we are starting with the last unit, that is p block elements 2. As we all know that why p block elements are called as p block elements, because the last electron in case of p block elements is getting added to the p subshell of the valence shell. So in case of p block elements, p block 6 groups are there, that is group 13 to group 18 are counted under p block. Group 13 and 14 are part of p block elements unit 1, which we have already done. In this unit we'll be doing group 15, group 16 and group 17. Group 15 is called as nitrogen family, group 16 is chalcogenides and group 17 are the halogens. Noble gases are not in your syllabus. So boron family and carbon family we have already done in the previous unit. In this chapter we'll be doing the general properties and periodic trends. We'll do the compounds like hydrides, oxides, oxyacids and halides of these 3 groups. Along with that we'll do the interhalogen compounds and polyhalides. So this is all about this unit. As far as your syllabus is concerned, we'll take up each group one by one. Now we are starting with group 15. In case of group 15, which is called as nitrogen family, group 15, the outer electronic configuration is p3, as 3 electrons are there in the p subshell. These are the atomic radii. We'll discuss the periodic trends first. As we move down the group, these are the elements present in group 15, that is nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth. So as we move down the group, the atomic radii increases. It is a general trend for any group that as we move down the group, atomic radii increases. If we look at the ionic radii, it generally increases for all the groups, but in case of group 15, ionic radii is increasing up to arsenic and then it is decreasing. Why this is happening? Because the electropositive character of the elements present in the group 15 is increasing as we move down the group. The above 3 elements exist as anions. They have strong tendency to form anions. As we know that anions are very much larger in size in comparison to the cations, and the last 2 members, that is antimony and bismuth, are very prone to form their cations. So this is the reason why the ionic sizes of antimony and bismuth are smaller in comparison to the ionic sizes of nitrogen, phosphorus and arsenic. Next comes the electronegativity. Electronegativity generally decrease down the group for all the groups. For group 15 also it is decreasing down the group, but as we can see that it is decreasing. It is considerable decrease is there as we move from nitrogen to phosphorus. Considerable decrease is there, but after phosphorus there is not much decrease in electronegativity. This is due to poor shielding of, as here when it comes to arsenic, introduction of D electrons and F electrons are there in case of arsenic, antimony and bismuth. So they exhibit poor shielding due to the presence of D electrons and F block electrons. So that is why decrease in electronegativity is not much. So these are the common oxidation states for all these elements. Next is the ionization energy. As we have already discussed the oxidation states, these are the common oxidation state. Most common oxidation state is -3 for the above ones. As electropositive character decreases, bismuth doesn't exhibit any negative oxidation state. Its most common oxidation state is +3. So for 3 ionization energies, ionization energy in general decrease down the group as size is increasing. So ionization energy 3 is always greater than ionization energy 2, which is greater than ionization energy 1, because while removing the second electron, we are removing the electron from already electronegative from an anion which is having a negative charge, which is always difficult in comparison to removing electron from a neutral atom. And while giving the ionization energy 3, while accounting for the ionization energy 3, we are removing electron from the anion which is having charge of 2 negative. So it is always greater than ionization energy 2, which is always greater than ionization energy 1. Next is the metallic character. Metallic character, as we have already discussed, that it increases down the group. Metallic character can also be called as electropositive character. Next property is melting points and boiling points. Boiling points is generally based upon the size and mass of the atoms, mass of the elements. So as we move down the group, size and mass both increases, so boiling point generally increase down the group. But there is a very interesting thing about the melting point of this group, melting point of group 15, which is that as we move from nitrogen to arsenic, melting points are increasing, but after arsenic, that is for antimony and bismuth, melting point decreases. Now why this is happening? Because melting point is generally related to the intermolecular interactions, and as we move from for the case of nitrogen, as it is diatomic, it exists as diatomic element, so it is covalently bonded. Again further phosphorus is there, which has a tetrahedral arrangement of the 4 phosphorus atoms, which is also covalently bonded. These are the 2 covalent bonded compounds. Further, arsenic exists as silicon-like structure, which is a metalloid. And as we move to antimony and bismuth, these are metallic solids. So due to the metallic character, they have loosely held electrons with them. So due to the presence of loosely held electrons, there is less interaction between the molecules of these two elements. So that is why melting point decrease for them. As we move down the group, melting point increases up to arsenic, and then for antimony and bismuth it decreases. Next property which we are going to discuss is the catenation. As we all know, what is catenation? Catenation is the tendency of an element to form bonds with itself. Carbon is the most important compound which exhibits catenation. This carbon belongs to group 15. Group 15 elements also exhibit catenation to some extent, but not like carbon, as catenation is dependent upon the bond dissociation energy of the elements, of the bond of element with itself. So carbon-carbon bond dissociation energy is very high in comparison to nitrogen-nitrogen bond dissociation energy. Catenation is exhibited by this group, that is group 15, but only to 2 to 3 elements, 2 to 3 nitrogen are directly bonded with each other. Such compounds for nitrogen and phosphorus are known, where 2 to 3 members of the 2 to 3 elements are directly bonded to each other. Next property is allotropy. Yes, allotropes exist for this group, but nitrogen doesn't show any kind of allotropes. For phosphorus, 3 allotropes are known, that is white, black and red. For arsenic, yellow and grey are known. For antimony, yellow and silvery grey are known. Next is the elemental state. What is the elemental state of different types of elements present in group 15? Elemental state of nitrogen is, it exists as diatomic molecule. It is the only element with which only species of group 15 which is having multiple bonds. Therefore it is having high bond strength, but still it is a gas, while phosphorus is having single bonded multi-atomic species where tetrahedral arrangement of 4 phosphorus are there, and it is a solid. Now why it is a solid? This is because it is covalently bonded. The interaction between the molecules of nitrogen is less in comparison to that of phosphorus. Phosphorus is having better intermolecular forces in comparison to nitrogen, and physical state depends upon the intermolecular forces. More the intermolecular forces, more will be the tendency to exist as solid in comparison to those which are having less intermolecular forces. They have less tendency to exist as solid. So more the intermolecular forces, more is the tendency to exist as solid. So that is why nitrogen exists as gas and phosphorus exists as solid. So in the next video we'll start with the different compounds of group 15. We have to do the hydrides, oxides, oxyacids and chlorides. So we'll start with the hydrides of group 15 in the next video. That is it for this video. Thank you so much.